and I'm gonna be the world's best friend. Gonna go around shaking everybody's hand, yeah. I'm just an old chunk of coal now, Lord, but I'm gonna be a diamond someday.
I was walking, decided to walk to the mailbox one morning, and it's about a half-mile walk on a dirt road, and sometimes I can make that 10-minute walk into 45 minutes just by stopping and seeing the lake or seeing the creek. And I'm almost at the mailbox, and I see two four-wheelers coming at me with a father and obviously the mother and a young boy about 7 years old with a ball cap on, sitting in his dad's lap, acting like he's driving the four-wheeler. And we stop and start talking. It was a man that I had known 10, 12 years ago, and this was before the son was born. And I'm looking at this boy, and I noticed that he had white. It looked to me like he had chemo, and you can tell the difference between someone that just shaves their head or has chemo. I call it like an ice cream cone. You get that look about you where anybody knows that you're sick, not just shaving your head. So I without asking him about his problem, I brought up, I said that I'm a leukemia survivor, a non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. And the boy says, I have leukemia. And the way he said it was like he was proud of it. I was so surprised. And I think I realized that he probably felt a connection with me. Even though our age was different, we both had a terrible disease. And we started talking. I asked him very pointed questions about his chemo and how his life was going. And I thought to myself, I don't know if I should be talking to a 7-year-old boy like I'm talking to an adult with cancer. But I thought, no, this is the way I'm going to do it. And he was telling me about how he had just had a wish granted to him, I think it was going to a ball game and a football game, and maybe it was with the Packers, meeting the players in the locker room, and he was just so happy, and we were just talking back and forth about our cancer, which I love to do. I love talking about my cancer. And his dad then says to me that Dean had relapsed, and in a couple hours they were going for another radiation therapy at Marquette Hospital. And this boy was smiling and happy, and I was just wondering what he was thinking inside, and I really don't know, but I think that childlike faith where he wasn't old enough to really understand that he shouldn't have this happen to him, that this is his life, and his 7-year-old experiences were far different than other 7-year-olds. But after talking to him for a short time, it was like I was almost talking to an adult. He was genuine, and he wanted to live. I could see it in him that he says, I want to live. I want to get back into remission. And I said, well, radiation and chemo again. He says, that's all right. He says, I've done it once. I don't remember much about it, but he says, I'm going to be okay. And that little boy on that day, it was like he was dropped out of a helicopter, right in my lap, in the middle of nowhere, in Upper Michigan woods. And here is this boy teaching me something about my own cancer that I hadn't realized. I mean, I complained about it. I didn't deserve it, and all those things that we say when we get older. But this boy just didn't have any of that, and I took that to heart. And he became my best friend. I gave him a book. I signed it for him, and I tried to tell him that you can make it. You can beat this. You've already beat it once. I beat it once, and I told him that anything I could do to help him, I would. And I hope to see him in the future.
I'm gonna be the cotton picking rage of the age. I'm gonna be a dime